What's going on out there, friends and family? Thanks so much for tuning in to your soul mapping astral weather report for August 17th, 2019. I'm Thomas, and the Astral Weather Report is where I synthesize aspects of astrology and the 64 hologenetic archetypes to give you a better idea of some of the energies that will be at play today, from the genetic all the way on up to the cosmic levels. Well, we're moving through some deep psychic and sort of emotional waters, really nurturing these very interesting aspects of ourself as, all this energy continues to progress through Leo. Today, we can definitely feel a marked shift in the energy as the sun will move on to the 29 and the earth opposed to it on the 30. So 29.1 and the 30.1, we still have the moon that's making its way through the psychic, spiritual, emotional waters of Pisces. Today is going to be conjuncting Neptune, and it's going to be sextiling over to both Saturn and Pluto. So this is going to be very interesting. I feel like, with all this forward motion that we've had lately, really taking action on what it is that we desire in our heart and really expanding in these new directions, a lot of light coming in, right? And with that, it can feel like as we expand into these new directions that there's been somewhat of like a cage or a block, or even like these barriers around these aspects of ourself that really need a lot of nurturing, really need a lot of compassion, maybe like interesting places that are just kind of have been sort of dry and barren within our bodies or within our souls even for a long time. And today, as the moon brings us this interesting nurturance in these psychic emotional realms, we're going to have these experiences that could seem like almost like a motherly grace kind of descending upon us, really getting beyond and below these masks, right, of where we are looking into what it is that's really we're struggling for and really worth moving a lot of energy and perseverance to. We're asked to be really creatively stepping into this warrior that can also be kind of that compassionate warrior, right? It's like in aspects of we're looking how to objectively structure ourselves when it comes to our status, and really being able to look beyond just really look beyond the way that we look at struggle really in general, or places that we can have and nurture these masculine self aspects of ourselves with these feminine aspects of ourselves, and really being creative as we tap into these psychic emotional waters that are letting us move through all these masks. They're allowing us to restructure and reorganize a lot of things on the spiritual plane, right? And we're really being asked to balance and find the balance, or at least start to find the balance between these creative desires. We have that inner fire that's just looking to really step up to the plate and shine, and also our desires in really bringing in this higher level of service, right? With this opposition in Aquarius, in Leo, in the 30 and the 29 is very much so about starting to look into really what's coming in from these spiritual realms and how we can serve, and then being balanced to that too. It can feel like we're sort of leaping into some sort of void space within ourselves, right? And really what this is there is a void space that's within our heart. There is this void that's kind of like a singularity that is connected to all these different potentials and timelines. And before we fully step into these certain aspects and different timelines that are available to us right now, it's like we want to be sure that we can give that energy fully into a place where we can completely surrender. It's kind of like we're somewhat like we've leapt into this void, and we're really being asked to surrender in a lot of ways, and we really just want to start putting this energy into things. But really it's like that there's so much going on and so much potential expansion at this time, really being asked to step into these high levels of spiritual realms, but also nurture these aspects of ourselves. We're really being asked to really just go beyond the mind in very, very intense ways, where it could feel like that we're really saying yes to so many different timelines right now. We're really channeling all these energy into things, and it's like it can feel like we're almost being like torn apart, and how can we possibly give and surrender to all these different timelines, but yet in these other ways that spirit is really stepping in and almost descending onto us. And really there's this intense grace and compassion coming into play for this inner warrior that can really have the discipline to move through things. And after we move through that, the moon is going to be sextiling over to Pluto, where we're really getting to the bottom of a lot of deep mysterious desires and very interesting karmic cycles and timelines that are playing out to move through these different aspects, so that we can, as we're coming into all of this energy that's going to be in Virgo, it's like there's such deep interesting work around ancestral karma and family ties. And when we can move through these different areas of energy, we can really surrender to this compassionate aspect of ourselves that can nurture both the masculine and feminine dynamics, and really see in a much broader, larger way what is really going on here. We're really being asked to muster a lot of energy and surrender to these different things. And I feel like a lot of these different pieces of the puzzle are really asking for us to maybe step into roles that we feel maybe a bit ashamed about, or really nurturing these different places of guilt and shame, so that we can step into that inner leader. But it's almost like we're not quite sure how we could possibly step into all of these different roles. And really right now it's about being, having patience with ourselves as we really integrate a lot of these pieces, these multidimensional higher level aspects, and really knowing and trusting that it's all going to work out in these ways that we can't possibly process with our mind. And being able to step into these timelines knowing and surrendering that it's all going to work out. We may not be able to see everything just yet, but we have received a lot of insight and vision, and so much energy channeling into the potential that we can really step into these identities and roles of being that star that we want to be. And it's like we've been charged with so much energy to take on so many things, and it's like this has expanded us into such a higher level of status and plane that we feel like disoriented, almost in a way of like, can I really do this? Can I really take this on? And I want you all to know that yes, we can take these positions. It's like we do have this, spirit has shown us, our lives have shown us at this point that everything is really on our side, that the universe is reordering things in thus a way that we can step into these roles. And it's being able to trust those aspects of ourselves, find that balance between the nurturing for ourselves and really compassionate with the way that we gracefully move through the struggle to step into these higher warrior timelines. And also being able to just surrender to the mystery that is life, and knowing that all of this energy, our ancestors and all of our higher level timelines and soul family will back us if we can just continue to step into these places and really move through this very interesting roller coaster of life, navigating through this multidimensional reality that's really become a kind of everyday occurrence at this point. So I hope this has been helpful for you. As always, step into your innermost authority, see if it feels right for you, and thanks for tuning in to the Astral Weather Report.